Alright, what's going on, people? It's the Ring Road Lamp here. So just a quick post-fight breakdown of two fights. I'm going to break down two fights. I know there were more, but these were the ones that I really paid attention to. The first one is going to be Pitbull Cruz versus Gamboa. So let's break down that fight real quick. Now, we all knew that Pitbull was going to win this one, but we didn't know that it was going to last that long. I seriously thought that it would last like 2 rounds and then that would be it. Now, what Pitbull did early on was he really landed a lot of those overhand rights and then a lot of those left hooks as well. So Gamboa had a lot of troubles defending it because his hands are down and he's not really used to blocking those shots. However, he did have an adjustment later on in the fight and he was able to duck under those. However, the problem with that was that Pitbull was able to land his right uppercut. So what happened was Pitbull or Gamboa didn't really know if it was going to be an uppercut that would be, followed up after the left hook. And so he got trapped in sort of a dilemma where if he ducks down, he's going to be caught or he's going to get caught with an uppercut. And if he stays up, eventually one of those hooks are going to land. So what Pitbull Cruz had a lot of troubles with later on was, Gamboa basically kept ducking down, so what did he decide to do? He decided to go down to the body, which he did a pretty good job of doing. And what that did was, it preoccupied Gamboa, and what happened was, Cruz later on decided to throw a shot to the body and then change levels. And so because he was constantly changing levels, Gamboa eventually dropped his guard, he eventually fell for the feints, he eventually lowered his guard, and that opened up a lot of that opened his face up for the hooks and for the overhand rights, and that would be it. That's basically how the fight went. Pitbull Cruz had a lot of trouble hitting Gamboa early on with those hooks because Gamboa would always duck down, and then later on, Pitbull Cruz decided to go to the body, did a pretty good job at that. He decided to change levels, and then after a while, it was just too much combination, too much volume for Gamboa to handle, and he eventually got caught clean on the chin multiple times. Great hard by Gamboa, but it was too much punishment to take. I know that Gamboa could last longer than that, but it was too much punishment. I knew he stood up, and I knew he got up, but it was too much punishment to take. Alright, now let's move on to the next fight. The next fight is going to be Spence versus Ugas. I picked Ugas in this one in my pre-fight analysis. But, yeah, he lost. And it was a clear victory, great work by Spence. I really thought that Ugas fought the wrong fight. He should have not stayed in the pocket. I knew in the early rounds I saw him staying flat-footed. He was waiting to counter. He was taking a big risk by standing in front of Spence and staying in the pocket. But I knew he did it for a purpose. And that purpose was he was waiting for the right time to counter, either with the right hook and overhand right. Which he did, I think, in the 5th or 6th round. He stunned Spence, and then the ref ruined it by giving Spence a break when Ugas was really close to hurting him bad. When Ugas was about to, I don't want to say finish the fight, but he was about to hurt Spence really bad in the middle of that round. Okay, so that was sort of a missed opportunity for Ugas because the referee decided to ruin it. But other than that, Spence was really the aggressor for most of the fight, and after a while, Ugas had no answers on the inside. Again, I do not like that strategy. I did not like the fact that Ugas decided to stay in the pocket, but I really thought that it would be a closer fight if Ugas just stayed in mid-range to long range. That's what I think. But he was more flat-footed in this fight. He was waiting for that, one big counter. But, he doesn't have the power to hurt Spence with one shot. So it was really a wrong game plan for Ugas. However, I don't want to take anything away from Spence. Spence did a pretty good job. He beat Ugas. Clearly, he dominated Ugas, although I gave Ugas a couple of rounds, especially in the early portion of the fight. But around round 9, I already knew that there was no chance. The only chance that Ugas has is, possibly surviving. But he doesn't have a chance of winning at all because I think Spence was already leading the scorecards pretty clearly around the 10th round. And Ugas's eye was already fucked up at that point, so there was really no weapon left for Ugas besides the overhand right. He doesn't want to risk throwing that right hand because it might get countered with the left hand. However, Ugas showed a little bit of vulnerability in Spence, and that's what I like. I'm really excited to see how Spence would do against Crawford. I'm really excited to see how that fight would go. I think Spence would win. And Also, I hope they don't fucking treat Ugas like shit. Ugas is still a great contender. Hopefully they still give him some good opponents in his next fights. But yeah, he fought the wrong fight tonight, stayed in the pocket for too long, got caught with a lot of uppercuts and hooks, and that was it, man. That was a big mistake on his part. When he realized that he should have not stayed there, it was too late. He started fighting like a Cuban in the late rounds, but it was too late. He should have done that earlier, you know, but he stayed in the pocket. He thought he was durable, but apparently he wasn't. You know, he got broken down after a while. So that was it. Post-fight analysis of that fight. Support my Patreon if you guys want to subscribe if you're new. Sorry I haven't been uploading as much. It's just that there's a lot of members on Patreon, and there's also a lot of personal stuff going on, you know, outside YouTube. So hopefully you guys can bear with me, and hopefully you guys can stay tuned for future videos. Keep supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. I'm really excited for Crawford versus Spence, and hopefully that fight gets made. Alright, see you guys soon. Peace out.